Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Inspired Action, where we dive into the most pressing leadership challenges and hope to inspire you to take a more coach-centered and people-focused approach to leadership. I'm your host, Kyle Pertuis, and it's time to get started with our three amazing guests for today. What do you want your team, your people, if you're not, directly leading a bunch of people right now, or even if you are, what do you want people to feel when they see your name pop up on their phone?
That he cares.
That you care.
That I care that, I'm reaching out either for to check on them because I haven't talked to them in a while. Maybe they're not on my team, or maybe they are on my team and they know that I'm reaching out for the right reasons and because I care, and either about them or about moving the organization forward in the right way.
Yeah, and I think all too often you see those scenarios where people don't want to answer because they think they're getting checked up on or followed up on, or something didn't go right, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
Sam,
agree. I agree
go
with
ahead.
that. I think too many times I've used the example of if the only time you see the principal is when you're in trouble. And I think it's the same with leadership. And so I work really hard to normalize my presence in different places. So kind of walking by to the teams area, and it's not to, hey, is this ready? It's deadlines or anything like that, but just to, do some jokes. How are we doing? And then I think opportunity as well. I remember, the people I've worked with, and I keep even 10 years after the fact, I will email or send a text saying, "Hey, I saw this opportunity and I thought of you." So it's been nice kind of getting to this point in my career, and they say that leaders grow more leaders. And
Mm-hmm.
so trying to invest back in and do that, I think really comes through.
I love that you use the the principal's office example. I saved it. I haven't watched it in its entirety, but I just came across this video of a principal somewhere. I don't even remember where it was, who had a goal of not ever wanting people to have to come to his office, right? Because the perception is, well, you have to go to the principal's office. Something's going on. So he manages his school from a rolling cart.
Mm.
Like, he literally doesn't have a principal's office. He is in the hallways. He's in the classrooms. And I'm like, that is brilliant, in so many different respects. Anna, what would you add?
It's actually a very interesting question because if I'm thinking about if I saw my manager calling me, what my reaction would be, and it would be what's wrong. Like the first thing would be
Mm-hmm.
even with the best of them because it's not really normal.
Uh,
So I'll definitely love for people to feel excited when they see my name. Whatever the reason is, and like one of the things I think about talking about like focusing on people, like I make sure to put reminders and have information that's like it's someone's like the other day was the birth one of like someone's daughter. She turned 9 the other day, and I called her on her cell to say happy birthday for her daughter. And like just like situations like these, like normalizing this kind of interaction that yes, like in some ways I might be the manager or the leader, but we're still people, and having that connection and that excitement to see that, oh, she's calling. And yes, it might not be with good news all the time. Like, fires erupt from time to time. But
yeah,
the word that came to my mind was excitement.
I like it. We use a variation, and now that I've asked this question, we use a variation of this in some of the trainings that we do, where we'll try to illustrate the difference between positive or negative energy, right? And so when you think about somebody that's you've got a relationship with that you just haven't seen in months or years, but then you're gonna have an opportunity to get back together with them, and you can just pick up like there was no time ever that lapsed between you. And how does that make you feel when their name pops up on your phone? And of course, we get excited. And it's like, oh, I can't wait to see you, and all of those kind of emotions. And then on the flip side of that is, now think about somebody that sucks the ever living life out of you. And when their name pops up on the phone, how do you respond? Right. And reminded me of an experience that occurred. We had just had our first child, probably wasn't even 3-4 months old. And this was in a previous partnership years and years ago. And I can vividly remember we were at this downtown festival, and I looked up and I saw my partners walking into a building across the way from where we were, probably, 400 or 500 yards, crowded people, but I saw them going in and they hadn't seen the baby yet. So I picked up my phone and called it. And I will kid you not, I watched him pick up his phone, look at it, and stick it back in his pocket. Now, this was towards the end of my partnership, but it affirmed a lot of the things that I was really thinking about before I made that exit. But I think it's just such a powerful thing to think about. If we can have the awareness and the intent behind how do we want to show up on people's phones? We know we can manage the situation when we're in front of people, right? Or we believe we can. But when it's just showing up on a digital device, what's the thought? Because we've done so many things along the way that they understand that connection is true enough to say, yeah, I'm excited when Anna calls, right? I know that if Jason's calling, it's because he cares about something. I know that when Sam calls, she's probably just going to crack a joke and make me smile because she knew I was down in the meeting earlier, right? I think those are the things that it's so easy to overlook and take for granted. But I think that's a big piece of leadership, is understanding that we don't necessarily have the power of making people feel a certain way, but we can sure do what we can to create an environment where that exists when we're around. Right.
Mhm.
And that's their opportunity to choose. All right. Thank y'all so much for your insight and input and your time. Great episode. Everybody out there, keep watching. Remember, new episodes drop every Thursday at noon Central on LinkedIn and almost anytime on our YouTube channel at MindFit Coaching. Thanks for watching. That's a wrap for another edition of Inspired Action, the Leadership Forecast. We're so grateful for our guests today and the impact they're making with the work they do. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel to watch the longer version of this episode, and be sure to like, comment, connect with, and follow me and each of our guests. You'll find all of our links in the caption of this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in every Thursday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern for new episodes.